What's going on, Blue Jays Nation? It's AJ LaMaestro back with you on Blue Jays Hub. And if you just watched that clip, you already know why I had to lead with it. Because we've got a rookie out there quietly chasing Shohei Ohtani's name in the record books. Before anything else, though, we are pushing hard toward 3,000 subscribers on this channel. So if this is your first time here, do me a favor and hit subscribe because there is a lot happening with this team right now, and you don't want to miss a single update. Thank you guys, as always, for the support. It means everything. Let's get into it. Let's start with the win because honestly, it was a good one. Toronto beat San Diego 5-3 on Friday night, and this one belongs to Kazuma Okamoto. Okamoto hit his 22nd home run of the season, tying Shohei Ohtani for the most homers by a Japanese-born rookie in a single season in MLB history. SPN, let that sink in for a second. Ohtani, the unicorn, the best player on the planet, and a Blue Jays rookie is standing shoulder to shoulder with him in the record books. In my personal opinion, this is one of the more criminally underrated storylines in all of baseball right now, and it deserves way more national attention than it's getting. And the way he did it was pure fear. Toronto trailed 2-0 after San Diego's Xander Bogaerts hit a two-run shot in the first inning, but the Blue Jays chase starter JP Sears in the fifth tied it at 2 on a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. RBI single. And then Okamoto stepped up against reliever Joni Brito and drove a 3-run shot into the left field seats to put Toronto up 5-2. SPN, just an absolute season-defining swing. In my personal opinion, when your rookie is doing that in a big spot on the road against a desperate San Diego team, that tells you everything about how ready this kid is for the moment. It was also his first career grand slam earlier in the week up in San Francisco, so he is an absolute heater right now heading into the break. And I want to give credit where it's due because Mason Fluharty picked up the win out of the bullpen, and Louis Varland closed it out in the ninth for his 19th save of the season, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits. ESPN, Varland has quietly been one of the better relievers in this entire sport this year, and in my personal opinion, he does not get talked about enough outside of Toronto. Now, I do want to be honest with you guys about the start from Shane Bieber because it wasn't his best. Bieber allowed 2 runs and 6 hits over 4 2/3 innings. Is not going to look like peak Cy Young Bieber right out of the gate. And the underlying stuff has flashed enough that I'm not worried long term. Now, that win was part of a stretch where Toronto, into the All-Star break, that this team can be buyers instead of sellers come August 3rd. All right, let's shift into the roster moves because there's a lot to unpack here. And I want to start with a trade that I think reveals a lot about where this front office's head is at. The Blue Jays sent reliever Tommy Nance to the Minnesota Twins on Friday. In return, Toronto received catching prospect Ryan Sprock, along with sending international signing bonus pool money to Minnesota as part of the deal. MLB.com. According to Ben Nicholson-Smith of Sportsnet, that bonus pool money, reported at around $250,000, signals just how motivated the Blue Jays were to specifically land Sprock. Info, Petite Nation. Now, here's why I actually really like this return. Sprock hit .306 with a 144 WRC plus over 65 games at Single A Fort Myers this season, earning Florida State League Player of the Month honors in June before getting bumped up to High A. MLB trade rumors. In my personal opinion, that's exactly the profile of this front office. Mark. I know some of you are going to see Toronto trades away a bullpen piece and immediately jump to they're selling. I want to push back on that a little because it's not that simple. Manager John Schneider was clear that this shouldn't be read as a buy or sell signal at all, calling it a normal baseball trade rather than a step toward waving the white flag. MLB.com. According to Schneider, we feel like we have capable guys to step in. Blue Jays insider, referring to the internal right-handed relief options behind Nance, and practically Nance was out of minor league options, meaning the Blue Jays either had to keep him on the active roster all season or risk losing him for nothing later. So flipping him now for a legitimate prospect made sense regardless of which direction the front office ultimately goes at the deadline. MLB.com. In my personal opinion, this was smart asset management, not a white flag. Chad Dallas stays up on the roster as part of that internal reshuffling, and I think he's going to get a real look at innings the rest of the way. On top of that, the Blue Jays also quietly added some outfield depth, signing veteran Daz Cameron to a minor league deal. This one genuinely flew under the radar, but I think it's worth covering because you just never know. Cameron most recently played in the KBO with the Deuce and Bears before being released, and prior to that, his last MLB action came with the Milwaukee Brewers. Blue Jays Nation overseas this season, he actually hit pretty well. A .287 average with a .360 on base percentage, a .473 slugging mark, 9 home runs, and 43 RBIs, good for 121 WRC plus, meaning he was 21% better than league average in the KBO, Blue Jays Nation. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't expect Cameron to sniff the big league roster anytime soon. His career MLB line sits at just .200 with a .326 slugging percentage over 160 games, Jays Journal. But he gives this organization another experienced body for outfield depth heading into a stretch where injuries have been a constant issue. Comment down below, are you paying attention to moves like this, or is this just a nothing burger to you? I cover it because sometimes these depth signings turn into real contributors. Think about how some of the guys who've come up through this system this year have surprised people. Now let's zoom out because I know a lot of you want the buyer or seller conversation, and I promise you a full breakdown video on that very soon. But here's where things stand as of today. Toronto is sitting right around .50, and in this year's wide open American League, that keeps him firmly in the wild card conversation heading into the break. In my personal opinion, this is exactly the kind of situation where the next 2 or 3 weeks matter more than almost any other stretch of the season, because this front office has made it clear through John Schneider's own words that the plan right now is to win and to contend, not to tear things down. That can change fast if the results don't follow, and August 3rd will be the real reckoning point. But for right now, in my personal opinion, I like where the mindset is. So here's my ask for you, Blue Jays Nation. Drop a comment and tell me, are you buying what this front office is selling right now? Are you fired up about Okamoto chasing Ohtani's rookie record? Do you like the Sprock return for Nance? I read every single comment, so let me know. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, drop your thoughts below, and if you haven't subscribed yet, get on board with us. We are closing in on 3,000 subscribers, and I want you here for every twist and turn heading into the deadline. Thank you guys, as always, for the support. No filter, no fluff, just Jays. We out.